Ladies and gentlemen, Centurions Doom Drone, and I acquired a half a one and a lot of Centurion parts, and I decided trying to source out the original parts. I thought I'd make some temporary parts for him until I get an original pieces and or 3D print one, which there is a file of a original toy scan of a Doom Drone and quite a few of the Centurions, but like everything, got to save up for that. And for right now, I thought I would do cast some resin parts for the Doom Drone. That way, I can have stand-in parts and also a little customized parts for my Doom Drone to make my set just a tad bit unique. So, uh, one thing, it was missing the leg and the let's say arm, and it's basically mirrored parts, so it's that part's pretty much interchangeable. For the mold, I need to make a mold of the leg and the arm there. Now I really should have done a block mold. That would, but again, I'm not in the casting business anymore, and don't have the I don't want to keep a ton of silicone on hand, and basically don't want to make a mold to make a couple pieces, and you're pretty much done with it, and you're stuck with it, and you have to chop it up for fillers. So I went ahead and used silicone putty and made a two-piece mold using the silicone putty. And if you never made a mold, and you might not be able to, might see a little line in there. Most everything has a dividing line, so when you see a part, you can mold everything you need to the dividing line, and you are good to go. The mold putty, this stuff works great. It really gets the detail in there. And I also did not know, and I really thought it was going to do it. I actually, when I molded it, I figured it would take out the old vintage decals with it in the silicone, and it did not. That was very unique. I didn't think that would happen, but it did. It saved the decals on the leg. So, again, a throwaway mold. Like, for example, when I pulled it out, I did break it, but if you ever break a putty mold here, you can actually put more putty on here and fix it, and so it won't seep out when you cast it. So I made two parts with basically cheap black onyx casting resin. I just got to sand and fill down the seam there, but that works out really, really well. Did the same thing for the arm. Basically made. Now, sometimes if you cast like this, they'll be a little uneven. Just depends on how much you push into the mold and how much resin you pour in. I put in just enough to where it's pretty much flat. You will have to sand these down, make a good flush fit, because when resin cures on a mold, it almost cures up just a tad, and you got to shave it off. But once you glue it together, uh, it does work really well for replacements. Now, if you want to make a a permanent one, there's other, you might have to do it I want to call it the correct way, block molds and two-part registration keys and all that good stuff. But if you just want to make it cheap, good replacement parts, this is the way to do it. Now, this is for my collection, so this works out really well. You can see where it's overlapped, where I had the non-slipping super glue, where you clamped it together and it moved just enough to, but that can be shaved down and make custom part for uh, your Doom Dome. However, some of the mounting plugs, again, they fit on the toy. The casting ones, they really don't. They're more loose, but it does fit. You can't really be violent with it. or move it around or it will fall off. I usually add a little tape to it and shove it in, and it'll work for a very, very long time. And or I'll take epoxy scope and put a little epoxy scope on there, put that in there, get the size of the hole, and once it dries, once you take it out and let it dry, it'll fit back in, and it's a nice plug. But it's a simple little trick for making parts that have to snap together work out. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I got going on today, making custom parts. I would like to paint it, try to match the Doom Drone color, or I may go a little wild and add a orange color to it, just to make them a different type of drones, different parts. And one thing about casting resin, and I haven't done it in so long, and I did not know that they made it, is silicone casting cups. I wish I had these many years ago. I have gone through so many plastic cups and or paper cups to pour resin. I wish they had these back then, and I didn't know that these existed. These have been excellent for casting parts on replacement parts for Centurions. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I got going on today. We're casting more parts for Centurions. So that's what I got going on today. Stay tuned for next exciting episode.